The House just passed a resolution to impeach Fayette Circuit Judge Julie Goodman.
That resolution will now head to the Senate. They'll hold a trial deciding whether to remove her from office. At the meeting today in the House, lawmakers spelled out very different standards for removing an elected official from office.
Following the law when you disagree with it is not weakness. It is the foundation of the rule of law. It is what separates a system of justice from personal preference.
Impeachment is an extraordinary constitutional remedy. It must be exercised with restraint and only upon clear showing of a misdemeanor, a crime, in office under Section 68 of the Kentucky Constitution. The standard has not been met here. Where is the crime?
The trial could also decide to prohibit her from running for any office ever again.